Now, let's get into the news. First up, Prince William has received high praise from none other than Donald Trump. The two met after the historic reopening of Notre Dame on Saturday night, and during their meeting, Trump commended the Prince of Wales for doing a fantastic job. The prince shared a warm handshake with the US president-elect at the British ambassador's residence in Paris yesterday. This was Trump's first meeting with a member of the royal family since his election win in November, and he was full of praise for William, calling him a good man. When talking to reporters, Trump also noted, "Wow, what a nice group." During their 40-minute discussion, the two men reminisced about the late Queen and touched on a variety of global issues. The relationship between the UK and the US was a key topic, with both acknowledging its importance. Kensington Palace confirmed that the meeting focused heavily on strengthening that bond.
All right, let me ask you about another element of this. On the present densities, you're going to add 3.4 million, or homes for 3.4 million people with your 1.5 million houses. On your own figures, we're also going to add to our population 2.5 million people over this same period. Are you content that more than 5 out of 7 new homes will go to immigrants?
Well, that's not the truth, and that's not the case.
That's what will happen?
Well, that's not the reality, because we've,
well,
where the
2.5 million immigrants that are in Rachel Reeves' budget figures going to turn up? Where are they going to live?
Well, there's plenty of housing in the UK, but the houses, especially social
hang on. You can't, on the one hand, say we've got to build this 1.5 million houses and then say there's plenty of housing already.
There is plenty of housing, Trevor, already, but there's not enough for the people that desperately need it. So the homes, especially under our affordable homes programme, which is social and affordable housing, they will be there for people who desperately need them, local people. We've already outlined how we're going to support veterans and people who are fleeing domestic violence.
Okay.
Councils need homes for people that are on the waiting list. I've already announced changes to the right to buy, making sure they have
this doesn't quite make sense.
So that we can deliver the houses they desperately need.
Deputy Prime Minister, it doesn't quite make sense. You start the interview by telling me that there's a housing crisis. When I remind you that you have said yourselves as a government, we're going to need 2.5 million migrants. Some of them, by the way, people are going to build the houses. Suddenly, there's a lot of housing. Where are these people going to go?
Well, Trevor, first of all, when you say about building as well, the previous government did use migrant labour far too much.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In some other news, military experts have raised concerns over the Ministry of Defence's ambitious plans to test electric vehicles, EVs, for combat use. They warn that prioritizing net zero objectives could endanger troops in real-world conflicts. Despite these concerns, the MOD is set to ramp up its EV testing at Bovington Garrison next year, sparking a fierce debate about the future of military technology. Admiral Lord West, former First Sea Lord, emphasized the urgency of equipping the armed forces with war-winning technology rather than focusing on green targets. "We need tools that can win wars, not just save the planet," he said, pointing out that combat readiness must take precedence. With war possibly on the horizon in the next few years, he stressed the importance of prioritizing military preparedness. The controversy intensified when Defence Secretary John Healey visited the Magtech facility in South Yorkshire, praising the company's efforts to improve both battlefield and environmental performance of military vehicles. However, Colonel Tim Collins, who led the Royal Irish Regiment during the Iraq invasion, voiced skepticism about the practicality of EVs in combat. He stated, "I find it hard to believe that current battery technology can provide the horsepower needed for modern warfare." An insider close to the Ministry of Defence described the next phase of testing as a crucial stress test for the vehicles, signaling the government's growing commitment to integrating EVs into military operations. Since July, the MOD has awarded over £400,000 in contracts to Magtech, a company specializing in electrifying vehicles for military use, further fueling the push for electric technology. The government's net zero goals have become a cornerstone of its broader defence strategy, announced alongside Keir Starmer's policy reset this week. However, not everyone is on board with the initiative. Colonel Richard Kemp, former commander of British forces in Afghanistan, criticized the plan as virtue signalling and a misguided attempt by the MOD to align with climate change agendas. He argued that logistical challenges, such as keeping fuel-powered vehicles operational, make the prospect of EVs on the battlefield unrealistic. A Ministry of Defence spokesperson defended the initiative, insisting that the rapid advancement of EV technology presents new opportunities for enhancing military operations. We are committed to exploring whether EVs can meet or exceed the performance of conventional vehicles in battlefield conditions, the spokesperson said, adding that trials are already underway. Tests on specially converted electric Land Rovers have been conducted at the Millbrook Proving Ground in Bedfordshire this year, and work is currently underway to electrify the Army's Foxhound and Jackal armoured patrol vehicles. The mod has also committed to electrifying its fleet of support vehicles in the UK by 2027. Lastly, experts are warning that drivers could face financial losses due to recent changes in fuel reimbursement rates introduced by HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC. As of December 1st, the new advisory fuel rates, AFR, now affect petrol, diesel, and electric vehicle, EV, owners who use company cars or pay for private travel fuel. For electric vehicle owners, the reimbursement rate remains fixed at 7p per mile. Experts say this rate may not fully cover the actual costs of charging, particularly for those who use public charging networks. For example, research suggests that a driver using a popular electric car for 6,000 business miles annually could lose up to £800 a year. Experts warn that businesses encouraging employees to adopt EVs might unintentionally be underpaying them, especially those who rely on public charging stations. With the new AFI rates being reviewed quarterly, the next update is set for March. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you haven't already, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British political content. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.